Many of us, enjoy a glass of wine or two at dinner, maybe a beer while watching the game. Fine in moderation, right? But a recent study reveals many of us are quite simply drinking too much, and we don't understand the ramifications of it. April is Alcohol Awareness Month, so Mike Zipprich is joining us. He's the founder and CEO of America's Rehab campuses. And I got to tell you, this recent study that came out really surprised me, Mike, because the claims that drinking even one or more drinks, or just one drink even a day, can decrease your life expectancy by several years.
That's correct.
Did that surprise you?
The impact today on substance abuse in general, anything with that affects the mental behavioral state can shorten your life.
Okay. So is that because of risky behaviors or because of impact on the body?
I think it's everything. It's all the above. It's truly a mental behavioral game. The mind is controlled. It controls all the organs in your body. And if you alter the mind or you play with the computer, it can affect your life expectancy.
I mean, drinking is a part of popular culture. I mean, it really is a societal norm. How do you know when it's gone too far? How do you maybe make some minor modifications to make yourself healthier, safer?
Well, there's many ways. Obviously, if you've had a drink or two and you start to feel different and you start to ultimately find yourself saying, you know what, it's 4 o'clock, I think I better go have a drink. I think you start to look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm starting to depend on this.
Okay.
And if I start to depend on things, it becomes habit. Habit becomes addiction. Addiction ends up putting you in a bad situation in your life. And
you mentioned that craving for alcohol and kind of expectation of it being part of your usual day. Some of the other symptoms to be looking out for if this has gone in a bad direction would even be a change in tolerance or being secretive or dishonest. Is that one of the factors that really is a sign that there's a real problem if you're hiding that?
They make it's sort of funny. They say, I don't drink too much. I drink and I fall down. I don't have a problem. And the truth of the matter is when you start to find that you'll know when one drink is fine, 2 drinks, 3 drinks, then all of a sudden you start drinking and you realize that you're not getting the same impact you did when you originally started drinking. And as you start to see it, that becomes your tolerance level. So it starts to bring your tolerance level up. And it's now no longer 2 glasses of wine, it's a bottle of wine.
Okay. All
right? Or it's not 2 martinis, it's 2 martinis. And then you go home and you realize, you know what, I'm on edge, I'm still anxious. Maybe I'll just take a Xanax. And then you medication, and then you mix alcohol and medication. Next thing you know, it becomes a ritual. And you start to feel better. And people all like to feel good.
Yeah.
So no matter where you are in your state of life, if I feel good every day, the whole idea is to if you want to be high, get high on life. Don't get high on alcohol, don't get high on drugs.
How do you step in if you see that somebody is engaging in some risky behaviors? Well, we've got some of the obvious dangers up on the screen, too. I mean, alcohol poisoning. When we see college kids, and not just kids, but young people die from overconsumption.
That's right. And the problem we have today is that, it's got worse than it's ever been. I mean, the fraternities make it a ritual now to see how much alcohol someone can consume and how far they can push the person, and it's caused death.
Yeah.
DUIs are a big deal. Obviously, I've been around a while, and back 30 years ago, a DUI was the police would pull you over and say, hey, you had too much to drink, drive home safe, or they actually follow you home. Today, they put the handcuffs on you and they put you to jail for a tolerance over .008.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for talking about this important topic, especially this month for alcohol awareness. What do we do if we want to seek help or maybe refer somebody?
People all have to be prepared and be ready. Okay. But the fact of the matter is the best way to do it, I always use reverse psychology. And that is the fact that, do you feel like there's a change occurring in your life? If there is, maybe you should talk to somebody.
Okay.
And not that, I think you're an alcoholic or I think you're a drug addict and I think you need help. It's more of, you know what? If you need some help, why don't we just talk about it and look at the difference? Use the Ben Franklin close on yourself, the pros and the cons. You write them down. If the cons are more than the pros, obviously you need help.
Address it.
And we're here to help you. Yep.
How do we get a hold of you?
America's Rehab campuses, 1833 ARC Rehab.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.